What's up there guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Titus AB. You know what, I think I should change the introduction. Let's do this again. What's up there guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mr. Africa, and in today's video I am going to teach you how to 10x your productivity. It is obvious that we all have the same amount of time each day, which is 24 hours, but what makes some people stupendously more successful than others? There are of course several factors that contribute to this, such as IQ, such as opportunities, such as luck and other things, but we cannot deny that more successful people tend to be more productive than the average individual. If you want to achieve something truly great, or maybe just something interesting, then you have to put into place processes and systems that allow you to be more productive each day. In today's video, that is exactly what I'm going to share with you. So ready or not, here I come. The very first way to 10x your productivity is to identify your most productive time. Each person has their own biological prime time when they are most energetic and, to translate, could be more productive. You could be a morning person, a night person, or a night owl such as me. But whatever the case, you have to identify this time and these hours, which I call the golden hours. Use this particular time to trash out your most difficult and challenging activities because you have the highest energy, maybe highest enthusiasm, and the highest amount of focus. Personally, I discovered that I'm a night owl, which means that I'm more focused at night, I have more energy at night, and generally I can get more done at night as well as more difficult things done at night. Currently, I'm shooting this video around 12:25 a.m. During the day, yes, of course, I have energy, but just not as much energy as I do have when it's night hours, especially from around 11 p.m. all the way to 4 a.m. You should definitely try this out. The second way to 10x your productivity is to create a to-do list. Creating a to-do list before going to bed is an easy way to picking up your day fast and smashing your activities and your tasks early and more conveniently. If you have a good to-do list with very structured time frames and activities, then there's absolutely nothing that can stop you but death. Hopefully not. The best practice for me when it comes to establishing a to-do list is keeping the number of activities or tasks between 3 and 5 in order to ensure effectiveness and efficiency. I'm sure you agree with me that sometimes when you have so much to do, you become overwhelmed by the number of activities that you have to do and you eventually end up doing nothing. Having 3 solid tasks that you intend to perform each day is going to prevent this feeling and help you to stay focused. You can actually compare this to putting blinders on your horse. The reason why blinders are put on horses is actually to limit their vision. Without the blinders, the horse's field of vision is almost unlimited, but with the blinders, the horse is able to focus in a particular direction, to be concentrated in taking on that journey without being distracted by other elements in the corners. So when there's so much to do, it's actually recommended to eliminate some activities so that you can focus on the few and perform them effectively and efficiently. The next way to 10x your productivity is to not multitask. Now, does this mean that you shouldn't do more than one task on a given day? Absolutely not. It only means that you should complete one activity before you move on to the next. Some people think that multitasking is actually shooting 2 birds with 1 stone because you get to complete 2 activities within the same time frame, but it's actually not. It could be more compared to chasing 2 rabbits. At the end of the day, you catch none. See, I'm actually guilty when it comes to this particular one because sometimes I have about 8 tabs open on my laptop at the same time, and I'm constantly navigating back and forth between different tabs with different activities, trying to complete them at the same time. And this is something that I'm actually working on and being more intentional about junction. Brian Tracy, who is a best-selling author, actually uses what we call the touch it one rule, and you may as well try it out. Now, the rule stipulates that when you touch something, you should completely finish it before you move to the next activity or before you touch another activity. Giving your undivided time and attention to one particular activity and executing on it before moving to the next actually enables you to be more efficient and effective. And this does not only apply to big activities or big tasks. Small tasks such as writing an email, replying to a text, finishing one set at the gym before moving to the next thing are absolutely very important. The next way to 10x your productivity is to learn to say no. Now, this does not mean that it shouldn't help anyone. It only means that when your schedule is full, you shouldn't accept any other activities. Sometimes you may feel like you're obliged for one reason or the other to say yes and to give in, but you have to learn to say no in the most polite of ways. I know several people who always complain that they don't have enough time or they don't have time at all, but you're never going to see them doing anything productive with their time. They accept a lot of tasks and engagement from different individuals such that at the end of the day they feel overwhelmed and confused, and this should not be. Learn to say no. Does this mean that you should be selfish? Well, maybe, but it depends on what outcomes you want to achieve. The next step to 10x your productivity is to plan and organize, and this is one point that I cannot emphasize enough. I made a whole video on 3 daily habits to improve your productivity, and in that video I explained the importance of planning and the importance of organization. The first link in the description box below should take you to that video, so click on it right now or at the end of this video and watch it. Stay with me all the way to the end of this video because the last point is going to be very, very, very important. The next way to 10x your productivity is to automate some tasks. You cannot do everything by yourself all the time, and so a good way to 10x your productivity is to actually find out those activities or those tasks which are not very, very productive and outsource them to a third party or to an individual to complete them, while you focus your attention on the more important and the most determining activities. Sometimes you have to delegate some tasks to increase your efficiency, and this is where leadership comes into play very importantly. The ability to influence other people or to motivate other people financially or otherwise to work with you or to work for you, which I really don't like to use so much, is absolutely very important in increasing your productivity. And so leadership has a very salient role to play in the life of every individual, as it is in essence a life skill. The next step to actually 10x your productivity, which is very crucial, is to minimize distractions. We live in a world right now where it's so difficult to focus on one activity because your attention is constantly being pulled away from you by everything else around you, especially these little devil boxes that we carry around. And by that I mean phones. So the ability to focus has now become a superpower that you must cultivate if you intend to achieve massively, or just to achieve. Doing simple things like putting your phone to not disturb or deactivating some certain apps or turning off notifications while you're working could significantly increase your productivity by limiting the distractions that could possibly interfere with your work. Another hack when it comes to eliminating distractions is actually cueing your physical environment with things that enable you to be productive conscious, and assigning some tasks to be performed in some physical environments are actually good ways to eliminate distractions. The first thing to do is to identify the possible distractions within that physical environment and eliminate it. A good practice when it comes to doing this is actually to change your physical environment completely in order to increase your productivity. So if you normally work in the office or in your home office or at home, wherever it is, and you notice that after some time you just resort or default to some certain activities like watching TV or going to bed or entertaining guests within your office, then you could completely change your physical space by going to a cafe, by going to a library, or by going to a local shared workplace. And I'm sure in your town you can find at least one of these places where you could go, change your physical environment, and try to regain your productivity and productive juices. The next way to 10x your productivity is actually to set goals, and this is not cheesy setting goals that everybody talks about. See, the 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle of distribution states that 80% of the results that you get only come from 20% of the activities that you actually do. And so it is important to identify the high stake activities or the high stake tasks and focus on completing them. However, it is sometimes very difficult to identify those high stake tasks or activities. So something that you want to do is to increase the volume of tasks or activities that you actually have to perform. And when you increase that set, the chances that you're eventually going to find a high stake activity actually become higher. So when that happens, you can then identify that activity and then limit the volume of that set. The next way to 10x your productivity is actually to manage your time properly, and this is more than just time management, it's life management. It is important to set time frames to tasks and to know exactly what to do and when to do it. A good way to manage your time properly is actually to do what is called time blocking, and this essentially entails setting fixed chunks of time for different activities. Now, creating such a visual representation of your time and the activities that you have to complete within that time frame is going to give you a sense of urgency in executing your tasks. The last way to 10x your productivity, ladies and gentlemen, and for me this is the most important one, is to take good care of yourself. See, a healthy body can perform at the peak of productivity, while an unhealthy body equals to zero productivity. And so it is important to eat well, it is important to sleep well, it is important to give yourself the opportunity to recover and to heal if you have experienced some stress or some intense pressure. There's actually a TED talk delivered by Matt Walker titled "Why Sleep is Your Superpower," and in that talk he tells us about the importance of getting enough sleep both for your body and for your brain. So it's important for your physical as well as for your mental health. Implementing a few or multiple of these strategies, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely going to 10x your productivity. At this point, I would like to hear from you in the comment section below. Which of these strategies did you find very useful? Did you find most effective? Which ones do you use already? And which ones can you recommend to the other viewers of this video? that they can equally apply in their day-to-day routine. Drop a comment in the comment section below and let us know. And until next time, stay productive. Cheers.